All right, welcome back. We've had a good night's sleep, right? Veravale got healed up. Gato put his healing spells into making sure she was good to go before he took his first watch. And let's see, your armor was polished nicely, so you are ready for day 2 on Venom Island. And you are given the instructions that you need to bring back a worthy offering to the Black Scale tribe if you want them to reveal to you the location of the temple. And so you are sent out into the jungle, and they expect you to return by nightfall.
Do they give us any kind of hint as to what is a worthy offering? Like, if I bring them a few rats, leave them on their front doorstep?
We saw earlier in the village, everything is made out of animal parts, skins,
So,
carapace.
if I bring a few baby rats and leave them on the doorstep,
Yeah.
So,
like a normal cat. Yeah, I get it.
you need to decide if you want to, where do you want to hunt, right? You can hunt in the jungle, and you can hunt on the shore.
Did we see, more stuff was animal skins versus
if they were
carapace?
like jaguars and stuff, then...
Well, except for the armor, which is made out of some sort of a carapace type thing, right? All the armor that the warriors were wearing was either could have been crab or scorpion or something like that.
Are there any?
And they did have crab for dinner last night.
Did they have any vendors in the village?
Nope. And they're actually not interested in your money.
Or trading or anything.
Metal coin has no value to Black Scales.
Alright.
But if I could buy a longbow, I might be able to get you something of value.
I vote we go into the jungle.
I will second that.
Yeah, jungle.
Alright.
Alright. Here's what we'll do. Because I need you to not know everything. So, Joel, what is your survival bonus?
Survival is +4.
Okay, what is your survival bonus?
Obviously.
You're good on your spells again, right?
Joe,
+5.
Melissa,
5.
What is he
That
laughing
doesn't
about?
bode well.
No.
When the GM laughs, you should be very worried.
He's laughing hard.
I was worried with this.
It's ridiculously good or ridiculously
Carissa.
bad.
+3.
Okay.
Do we need to roll new characters for next week?
I will tell you all about this later. As you spend some time just wandering through the game trails of the jungle, right? And looking for those kind of tracks, looking for any kind of sign of something that you can hunt. Both Kay and Melissa notice jaguar prints. You point these out to everyone. Also, what you assume to be scorpion trail.
Like big scorpions?
Big
Ugh.
scorpion. This would be the size of 2 of you. And you're also able to point out that there's something creeping in the jungle above you, sort of following you around. And you can't exactly tell what it is, but it's very well camouflaged, and it stays in the canopy above where you walk. Joe and Joel, you don't notice the thing above you, but you're both very proud of yourselves for seeing the jaguar and the scorpion prints. And Carissa, you're proud because you noticed the scorpion prints, which are probably the most obvious of all of them because they're these little pokey holes, right, with with an occasional drag underneath. In
But
between.
would I know what that is, or just that it's unusual?
Based on what you saw in the village, you would be able to surmise that it's some sort of a scorpion
those
type thing.
things.
Yeah, stuff that they were tanning to use as armor or weapons. So, what do you want to pursue?
Honey, I shrunk the kids.
I'm really nervous about what's up ahead, what's up above us.
Yeah.
Like what's coming after us.
Can any of us like?
Have any of y'all
determine
said
what
any of that?
is?
Because I'm like, well, it's
Just
obvious.
not
The
a monkey
scorpion.
or-
We go after the
It's
scorpion.
not a monkey.
Well, I
So-
don't think-
If you stop and look for it, right, you kind of walk a little ways and sort of trick it into following you, and then you stop and you look. You can see almost looks like some person really well camouflaged in leaves and just greenish, foresty jungle colors, sort of crouched up there, but it always freezes. So you can kind of make out these little slits of eyes, but that's it. Almost humanoid in shape, or like ape in shape, but completely covered in this viney. In fact, its arms are just unnaturally twisted in ways that arms shouldn't be, and much longer, or they appear to be melded with vines around it.
How far up would you say? Oh, wait.
It ranges, right? It's somewhere between 20 and 30 feet.
There's the risk that that it could still follow us. Yeah.
And then the question is, as we're talking about this, does it know we're talking about it, that we know that it's there?
It doesn't seem to react to you talking about it.
Alright, so do we vote to move on or try and subdue the thing, or
Do we feel like this sense of foreboding when it's around, or is it like, oh, there's a thing
Is
over
it like
there?
I mean,
stalking
it's-
us?
Yeah, it's stalking you.
Yeah, like
It's
with
creepy.
malice and
so we
Yeah.
we don't want to ignore it. We
Oh,
agree on
for
that?
Besmara's sake! Cocky just shoots a bolt at it from her crossbow.
Okay.
So Cocky hits it,
Oh, she actually did something.
and the creature recoils from this bolt going into its shoulder. And you see its mouth open up, and it's got like human teeth in there. It's like a red human-looking mouth.
Oh no.
No nose or anything, just sort of a flat face.
Voldemort.
And then it just takes off into the canopy and darts away from you. Your group.
It's
Okay.
gone now.
It's
All right.
gone for now.
For now.
Oh.
For now. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, vote. Do we go after the jaguar or the scorpion?
Kind of thinking the scorpion's more impressive,
Mm.
better off.
Armor.
Probably.
Scorpion's also going to be
Yeah,
harder.
you're like professional courtesy.
Like, you could make a lot of armor out of this.
Alright, so 2 for scorpion,
Scorpion.
3 for scorpion. Alright, we'll go for the scorpion.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I have a 6 and a 1.
14 and a 20.
23.
15.
23.
Ooh. Alright. What'd you get?
14 with a 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're all walking along this path, right? Kind of single file, I'm assuming the same order as before. And following this scorpion trail, and sometimes it goes off of the path and through some bushes and some difficult areas. But you manage to follow wherever this scorpion has gone. It's obviously much larger than any of you, so if it was able to squeeze through these areas, you sometimes have to get down on all fours.
It's
but-
bigger than them.
Yeah, she's the halfling.
Even them.
Oh dear.
It's like the size
I
of
know.
like twice of us.
Yeah.
And while you're down, kind of crouching through this area, not as low as they have to crouch, obviously, but moving through
Walking normally.
this little jungle tunnel.
You're like crouched and we're crawling.
The wind blows, and you see this beautiful blossom with this deep red hue kind of blow across the path up ahead of you.
No.
It's
Blue is cold, red is fire.
yeah.
It is just a tiny little blossom. And you continue on your path, unless you want to pursue the blossom.
No, we're hunting.
Nope, okay.
I probably should, because that's probably
Fire,
gonna be some,
fire.
yeah, some great offering. But
It's not Mario season.
You continue along, and you actually hear something. The jungle, the jungle's so loud and right there around you. But you hear something that in that sound that sounds close, and it sounds little and almost like a little
kittens.
It would be easily lost if you weren't listening for it, but once you hear it, you can't not hear it.
I ignore it because I'm allergic to cats.
Wow.
I was like, sorry.
Your
can't help
character
it.
is allergic to cats?
Sure.
Okay.
That's why she's been sneezing for the whole.
Can't
Right?
shop by that.
Hey
What
guys,
method
I think I hear a kitten somewhere. I hear just tiny mewing.
What I got those guys.
Once she says this to you, you kind of listen for it, and you can hear it too.
What direction is it coming from?
Up
Versus
to the
where
right.
Jaguar.
So where did the
It's
where
called
did
like
the blossom
Priya
blow?
It went from
Somewhere
that was
else. Yeah. Okay.
that was back a ways.
Gotcha. So yeah, maybe a jaguar cub. Kitten.
But is it alone?
It's calling.
No, you can tell there's several of them
Oh, there's
all
several
going
of
at the
them?
same
Oh,
time.
okay.
Uh-oh, so there's a bunch of them.
Probably be easier to kill them for problem.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it wouldn't
it's
be.
gonna be
It's
upset.
probably not going to be a good
If we
offering.
bring
Yeah.
a bunch of babies, then they
Be a
can
good
raise
offering
them.
on.
Like I said, you capture them, bring them back so they can raise them and they slaughter them later.
Well, so wherever the cubs are,
The parents can't be too far.
yeah. Which also raises an eyebrow that we're probably being stalked. Because if we're close to the babies, then
At
the
least
mom's
not
gonna
a
probably
humanoid
be nearby.
feature anymore.
Well, but I mean, like, if we're
Well,
close to the
might be.
cubs, and the mom's probably gonna be nearby, making sure that we don't get too close.
What if
Probably.
we get
Possible.
jaguar and scorpion? We lay in wait for the jaguar to come back, and then
Double
Kill
good
that one.
offering.
make best offering ever.
Yeah.
We'll get the jaguar cubs when we bait the scorpion. And then when they're both fighting each other.
And you said I was bad for picking up the knife. That's all I'm saying. He wants to use baby kittens as bait for giant scorpions.
And then when they fight each other and they're both weakened, then we get involved.
Never thought of kittens as bait. That's a good idea too.
Okay, are we gonna sit here and just chat about it all day? Should we go smother the cats, throw them in the river? What?
Smother her and throw her in the river.
You'd use the cubs as
We
bait
could
to
use her.
get the mom to come back.
Right. So let's wait around for the jaguar to come back then.
I like that.
Alright.
We're here.
Should
Okay.
Or we could leave you here to shoot the jaguar since you're trigger happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's-
You'd like that.
That's
I'm sure
cute.
she can handle
Well,
that.
we're gonna wait. If we're
I'm so
gonna-
glad I brought you along because you're so cute.
If we're switching to the jaguar, I say we grab the cubs, make them squeal.
I'm all for expediting the process. Jaundice, Jake, would you? Where are you? Would you go grab those cubs and strangle them?
We don't have to kill them. Just
Yeah, just squeeze them a bit.
yeah. Just grab them. Just grab them. They'll start squealing. You know. Just grab them by the scruff of the neck. They'll start screaming, and then the mum will come and we'll kill it. Take them all back. He doesn't talk, does he? All right.
Yes, he
So
That's what we do.
okay. So we go off in the sound of the cubs.
All right, you find them. They're in
All right,
they're in a hollowed out tree stump nearby, and there's 6 of them. Cute little black cubs. Just mewling away.
I don't have any great weapons, so I'll volunteer for squeezing. As long as someone else will kill the jaguar.
Okay.
In this tree trunk, I'm assuming there's other trees around.
Oh yeah.
Like, so could
Climbable
I
trees.
get
Jaguars can climb too.
could I get like, you know, about 10 or 15 feet in one to be like above like where?
Make a climb check.
Yeah, what's our plan when this thing comes to kill us?
Not to die.
Right. But he's going up in the tree. Is anybody else going to go up in the tree? Any of the other riggers, which I'm also one.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go
Alright,
up too.
so go up in the tree.
I'm kind of little.
We've got a flank.
If the
Claws
scorpions
on
are already
appendage.
4 times my size, then
Alright, so we're going to leave you in the den with the cubs for it to come and kill you, and then we're going to all flank this thing.
17 for climb.
You zip up a tree.
I'm a rigger.
Alright, so should you and I get to like just kind of blend into the bushes?
Pretty much.
All right.
Say, if we're still on the ground, like we'll all take up hiding spots somewhere around this den.
Cocky Tarun climbs a tree. Jape hangs out at the bottom.
She's not gonna fight.
She loads her crossbow.
If she shoots me, I'm gonna kill her.
Everyone's in position.
You hit me again.
I look up at
look
Cocky
at
and I
you.
say, if you leave me to be fed to the jaguar, I will curse you so hard.
I curse you
Know
so
that.
hard.
Just know that.
I'll
Can you give curses
keep
after
that in
you're
mind.
dead?
She doesn't.
I will.
Can you curse someone after you're dead? He's so easy trying to make it quick.
Can you? Can she curse
Alright.
me after she's dead?
Alright,
Sure,
grab them by
yeah.
the scruff of the neck until they stop screaming.
Okay. You shake the jaguars,
Gently.
and they
No, not gently.
they mew loudly. It goes higher pitch and it gets louder. And you do this for maybe 5 minutes, and nothing happens.
Alright, let's just stuff them in the backpacks.
Yeah.
Go all the way through time.
Agreed. I think the
We take the
mom's
baby
gone.
jaguars.
They continue to mew inside your bags. You have your own little alarm.
Tell them to be
Yeah,
quiet.
yeah.
We're here, we're here, we're here, we're here.
Alright, so we continue back on the trail. where
Yeah,
we
you go
found
back to
Scorpion.
where the scorpion
Who's
trail
holding
left
them?
What a waste
off.
of time.
How many of them are?
I'll
Yeah,
hold
who's
them
holding
as I can.
those?
I will hold them.
She's holding all of
You're
them.
holding all of
I
them?
mean, I don't know how big are they?
I mean,
like are they like this size kitten? Are they like?
they're
this
like this size kitten.
So I'll hold the 2 of them
Okay.
at least. I'll hold 3 if I can hold 3. But
Anybody else want to take some of the jaguar kittens?
I have a bag, so I can carry two, I guess.
so that would be 6.
Okay. So you've
And
got
I'm-
4 and she's
I am
got 2?
loaded, so yeah, I'm loaded down
Alright.
with cats.
So if the big one comes, we don't have to outrun. We don't have to outrun it.
Just have to
Just
outrun
outrun those
that.
2.
Yeah.
Alright. So the
Uncle
ladies have the
Gato, I
cats.
can't believe you didn't take any.
Okay.
I can couple.
Alright.
Should we go back
You
to
go
the
back
trail where we saw the scorpion?
Yeah.
and you
Track.
continue on the scorpion trail.
Okay.
Okay. You move as quietly as you can. To you, the mewling seems loud because it's right there on you, but when compared to the sound of the jungle, it's probably not that big a deal. And you pursue the scorpion tracks a little bit farther. You find a hot spring where this boiling hot water is pouring out of it. It causes everything around it to kind of turn this yellowish, orangish color. And the scorpion has gone sort of around this, kind of came to the edge of this river. It's not a river, but this spring, and kind of went back up and around it, and it gets into a little bit more rocky terrain. You're getting closer to the volcanic parts of the island, and after about an hour of following this path past the spring, you can see the scorpion up ahead, and it seems to be feasting on some sort of creature that it has captured and torn apart.
But it doesn't notice us.
Not yet.
How far away?
About 40 feet.
Okay.
Alright. Should we spread out and flank it?
Toss a kitten.
So like the vines, the vines. So like, are some of us able to like climb the
It's
tree
already
and
eating.
swing from tree to tree like Tarzan?
Well,
Not
that
too.
that would be really tricky.
Maybe
Why?
Maybe at level 8.
With your
Pirates.
acrobatics.
Because
Yeah.
right,
Most of us here are riggers, so
because
like, that would be
vines
more...
grow straight down, right, or straight up, right. And if they're hanging from a tree, then
Which end is which?
you haven't cut it, then it's probably a dying vine. Okay,
I can
and
attest
so
from personal experience when you try to swing on a vine, it pulls it out of the tree and you just fall to the ground.
usually that's what happens. But also you would have to grab if you were to find a live vine and you cut the end of it and it was still wrapped around the tree where you could put some weight on it, to try to swing on that, you would have to carry it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
because you're going to be right under the point where it's grabbed onto a tree, and most of the vines actually grab onto the trees as they grow up, right? So they've got all these little tendrils into that tree.
All right.
I mean, in
No.
Tarzan, it's cool.
Well,
But
yeah, I know.
in real life, which is what we're doing here,
Yes, it is. Giant scorpions.
it
Okay.
doesn't really work. Now, there are specific kinds of vines that if you had like a knowledge nature check, you might be able to identify.
In other words, no.
That will try to grab onto things and pull them up, and they're like sentient vines. But you don't recognize any of those in this area because you don't have knowledge of that
don't
thing.
have
All right. Anyway.
That's not any
So, I say we spread out, and flank the scorpion, and kill the thing.
Guess so.
Okay. And how are y'all going about this? How are y'all going about collecting the scorpions? Are you like basically rushing out to the sides and
No.
trying to get around it?
I suggest that we like resume our stealth and then swarm it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Since
go
it's
sneaking up
huge.
on it.
And I don't like scorpions.
Okay. Everyone make a stealth check.
I vote that I stay on this end because my speed is about half of y'all.
You also
Probably
have
have
the
the
best
highest
stealth out of all of us.
I do have the highest stealth, but I'm saying if I gotta go all the way around, it's gonna be
All right,
longer than
15.
everybody else.
17, but does it matter that I'm carrying?
What check are we doing?
4.
15.
You got a 4? Ah,
What check are we doing?
doomed us all.
Stealth.
Stealth.
Can I give him the kittens?
Doomed us all. Got them.
Oh, no.
17.
Actually, your DC should be higher since you're carrying things that are making noise.
That's what I asked.
It should cover me completely, even though I like felt
I don't
the
know.
underbrush.
You just
I
trip
got
over one of those
17.
bombs that he was asking about.
So you spread out.
Was that easy?
Put him somewhere about the middle of the jungle.
Oh, I don't like that. I ain't touching that thing.
Come on, I even pick up the spiders on these.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I know, but
We'll say you're coming from the direction of the shore. You're not that close to it, obviously, but that's where you start. And you spread out. Go ahead and take one round to go your max movement, whichever direction you want.
And if you're not attacking, you can use a double move, right?
Not while you're stealthy.
Well, I wasn't very stealthy.
No, you weren't.
does it detect him? Because his roll is so terrible.
I must be stealthy. I don't even see myself.
You're welcome. Where did I put you? Oh yeah, I see you.
Am I under that tree? Is that me? Yeah.
You're actually.
It's probably a bush, but to me it's a tree.
Yeah.
All right. So the scorpion, after you have moved your full movement, that first round. Oh, you're not done. Oh yeah, those guys.
The two. Yeah, we moved us, but we didn't.
Yeah. The scorpion looks up from eating the monitor lizard it has in its claws, and it sort of tilts its head in that direction, and it's obviously watching right now.
You doomed this whole night.
Roll for initiative.
19.
Also 19.
11.
15.
16.
Patrick,
Okay.
go first.
Alright.
Okay. So
Thought you were the bullets.
I'm the bullet shooter.
He's the gunslinger.
I'm the gunslinger. It's literally
She's
what
the
my
bullet
title
slinger.
is.
Would you sling your guns?
23.
Literally, that is my title.
23 to hit?
Gunslinger.
Yep.
Yeah, that hits.
Look at you.
3.
So that would
1.5.
be
No, I rolled a 6 for 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
4.
Okay. And can you add a sneak attack modifier to your sling? Yeah, because it would be denied its dexterity bonus because it's not.
Okay, so what do? I add a
You just
D6
add a D6.
to that?
Yep.
4 more.
4 more? Alright. Killian.
I'm gonna shoot it. So I rolled a 16 plus anything else for stealth.
No, stealth
No.
doesn't add it.
Okay, so 18. Yeah, 18.
That hits.
Okay. 5 damage.
Okay. You hit it. Your bullet goes into the carapace of the giant scorpion, and it cringes and steps back a little bit from the monitor lizard it's been tearing apart. Veravale, what's your movement? 30?
Yeah.
Okay. You
Yeah,
can probably
you
do that.
Alright, so I'm gonna move.
This is you?
Make an acrobatics check
Here I go to be unconscious.
to dive in like
Here I
that.
go to be
Just the
unconscious
whole
again.
jungle and everything.
17. So it's 17.
Oh yeah, you do it. You manage to jump through the jungle and all the craziness there,
Thank
and
you.
you
Tarzan
land.
vine thing.
You land in a fine place to strike at it. So now you can make your attack.
Oh, okay.
Throw a kitten.
And you said I was bad.
Oh, she got a 20.
And a 15 on top of a +4, so that's a 19
Nice.
with 20 on it.
And then
Very
a
nice.
D8.
So that's a crit.
3.
And he's giving you a card.
You don't know that yet.
Oh, yes. I have a 1.
No. You have to
Well,
sign.
you
gotta figure
crit,
out
you
what
crit
your-
it, so he's gonna
okay.
give you a crit card, and then you
Sorry.
can
That is a
choose.
slashing weapon, right?
Yes. Double damage and 2d6 non-lethal damage.
Double damage and 2d6 non-lethal.
Yeah, that's
So
not even
roll
a.
your,
Yeah,
And
then
she
you have to make a
has
choice.
and she has a double crit already.
Yeah,
But
so
it replaces.
Yeah.
it replaces.
Okay.
She gets
5, so you get 10 from that.
Plus,
I'll roll
don't you get a bonus from your katana? Doesn't it have a plus on it?
1
Three.
D8
Plus
plus
three.
Plus
3.
3, so
Unless you're using both
you get
hands, then it's +4.
16.
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I was gonna ask
So that'd be
about.
14.
Yeah. Like it's a 2. Oh, 2 and 2.
Of
So
non-lethal.
another 4 damage.
Yes.
4 non-lethal on top of it.
So a total of 18.
Your
So you
skills are-
slide in with your katana. You jump over all the rocks and the jungle debris to place yourself in that perfect place. And it just apparently it's busy trying to pay attention to the cat over there making all that noise.
Where?
And you land and slice your katana through that carapace. But you manage to find that perfect chink in the armor right between those two layers where this layer of armor meets that layer of armor. And once you got your katana in there, you just give it a good twist. And you can hear that armor pop and crack as this thing...
She probably just ruined it for armor.
We'll see.
Oh, they can still make do.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good move.
Yeah, it was.
Very good.
Jape, move Jape 30 feet in towards the thing along a normal path. And he will swing at it and actually hit it. And Jape brings his axe down and cuts off a leg. It is Gato's turn.
Okay, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to make some kind of acrobatics check if I want to try and bypass this log to come around this route, right?
Yes.
Can you even make that distance?
I can't make it all the way. Let's see, that's gonna be what, 10 feet to the branch. Try to get over it. And rolled a 3 for the 1.
Yes.
Trips over the vine.
So you run over this branch and you put your foot and you're like, I've got this. I'm gonna use my good foot to leap off of this log. And you put your good foot onto this log and you fail to notice all of the termites that are inside it. And your foot goes right into the log, into this termite colony. You fall forward, bending your leg
Termites
the
in
wrong
moonlight.
direction. and you're getting chewed up all over your foot now. You are
All over his peg leg foot?
no, his good foot, and you're prone on
Be
the
like
ground, but
piranha.
your leg is still hanging out of the.
So essentially, I landed on the log and then I fell forward, so I at least made it over.
Yes, you did.
Part of you did.
You did that. Always look on the bright side of life.
Alright. Alright, so is his turn done then?
His turn is over.
All right.
And it is
That was beautiful.
Cocky's turn. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Brush the termites off of your pig leg.
El
Another
Gato.
move action.
Oh, I love that.
He is the comic relief.
Maybe you're
Can
the
Cocky get there?
From right here? Yeah. This is her, right? So is she
Yeah,
charging the
yeah,
thing?
she moves in.
Okay.
And she hits.
Whoa!
Right.
She's actually doing something.
Oh my gosh. Cocky brings her sword down, and she gets it right above the thing's head, and she kind of shakes it and stabs down into it, and it just crumples.
Heads up rage.
Look at that.
The
That
whole
was too
thing
easy.
falls. Yeah, she's like,
Well, I can't be the one
I
to
did
kill
that. I killed a giant scorpion. You be sure to tell Captain Harrigan I killed the giant scorpion.
it. After getting eaten by a flower.
Jabe just shakes his head.
Yeah.
So,
Now we gotta drag the thing back.
yeah, pick it up, would you? Really? How are we gonna drag the thing back? Carry it, man.
You know, tie it on poles and
Yeah.
Ooh, could we do that?
Yeah,
There's a log here.
you've got all kinds of rope.
Yeah.
So,
Gato hard over here.
Gato finishes picking the termites from his good leg. Kind of grateful he didn't get him on the other one.
takes a step and it cripples underneath.
I feel like I'm wearing stilettos.
Oh.
Alright, so do we fashion some poles to carry it back then?
Sure.
Alright, let's do it.
You would have to kind of fashion one. So there's bamboo everywhere and
Okay.
different things like that. One big
Just
piece and
combine.
cut it, tie its legs on top. Takes you a couple minutes to get it all together, but it works with your single file line necessity, right? So
That's what we put like.
the two people that are immediately closest to the scorpion will make a strength check,
Oh, so
and then up to one other person can go on each end to assist them. Jake will go in front.
Slings
19
it
with a
over
20.
Fireman style.
I got
I
17.
think I'm carrying the thing.
I got 17.
Wish I could have made that on a.
He just grabs
On
a
an
pile of
attack
it, slings it over his shoulder.
Veravale, you pick up the other end. Jake has it kind of over his shoulder.
Carrying the stick with the chakras on my
You've got the cats too,
Yeah.
don't you?
It's fine. It's worth it.
So you together you manage to hoist this thing up. It is heavy. I mean, this thing is solid.
Yeah.
It's full of
Oh my
just
gosh.
meat and heavy armor stuff. You head back.
Okay.
Oh, lucky.
These
Uh,
versions better.
Make a survival check to find
The
the way.
villain.
Well, no.
I've got my
Because
compass.
I don't need you to know who actually got it.
Oh.
So,
Who got what?
yeah.
Which one, we're all telling you
Yeah,
which way to go.
Joel. What's your survival again?
+4.
All right. Okay,
You say go this way, and I say go that way, and you follow
Joe.
me, not
5
knowing I'm wrong.
on survival modifier.
Yep.
Okay.
Melissa
5.
and Carissa.
+3.
I guess we should have been dropping jelly beans.
Oh man, is that what these things were for?
Probably
no.
Oh.
Oh,
Joel and Kay, you are you're pretty convinced that you need to go in one way. You're all okay for a little while, right? You get back to where the spring was, and you can trace your trail back that way, and you
If
recognize this
only
one
that could
log
be
that
the
had
I don't
the
best.
see any of our own tracks.
Exactly.
yeah. You do,
If only
You
I
do.
could be
You
that way in
do.
real life.
Okay.
and you see your tracks, and you're good.
Okay.
That's where the conflict comes.
Uh-oh.
Because you and Melissa see the same tracks, and you're convinced those are your tracks. Joel and Kay see a completely different set of tracks going a different way, and they remember coming that way,
I wish that was true.
and they're convinced that you are convinced that those are your tracks.
Ooh.
You see both
Mine
sets
are
of
pretty
tracks,
Don't tell me that these
and
were
you
our
have no
jelly
idea
beans.
which way to go.
Please don't tell me that
Humans
these were our
smell
jelly
alike.
beans.
My tracks are pretty obvious.
True.
It's true.
That's true.
Can I do a diplomacy to try and convince them that
Why should we listen
I will,
to you?
I will cast guidance to increase my survival check to know for sure which is the true path.
Which one is the point?
Ooh,
Make a
can she
diplomacy
do
check.
19.
Okay. If you want to resist that,
I have a-
make a will save.
If we want to resist that?
Yeah.
Well, she saw the
We're,
same
we're
thing
on
I
the,
did,
yeah,
so I'm
we're
not
on the
going to
same
resist
side.
it.
It's for them.
I
Yeah.
have +0, so I'm not even
On
gonna
a will
risk
save.
it.
I have
You
9
could
lives and I haven't lost one.
We can't look at these tracks and see if one of them is a cat stick. Cat
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah.
We can?
Yeah, they both look like that.
Oh, both
Really?
directions.
Yeah.
We've
I
been
have
coming in
+0,
circles.
so I don't want to risk it.
Still,
So
she seems
you
very
can-
certain.
you
Yeah.
can-
She's very certain. And
And-
I'm fairly certain. She's more certain than I am.
They're both certain, and she's very, witchy. She's got that witchy way
Yeah,
about her,
that's-
and it really feels to you like what she's saying. It makes sense.
I mean, my hair grew 10 feet to here.
It's true.
You didn't steer us wrong.
Kind of
so
over.
I'm
No,
going
you're
for it.
just saying
But
you
yet,
might kind of
they are
think
both
like
sure and remember coming the other way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not resistant to following you, but if I lose even one of my lives, I'll kill you.
Fair enough.
Right, so you've to also follow them.
Sure. I mean, I'm not splitting the party. I know that.
No,
Why not?
no, she's
All right.
jumping in.
Because
So we
played this
follow
game
the trail that we.
All right.
Okay.
You follow that trail, and it's a
Follow that
while
trail.
before you see any sort of a landmark that says, "Yeah, you're on the right path." But you trust that she's leading you in the right direction. Cocky has no idea, right? And Jaundice Jape is happy to just take up the rear.
Cover her
So-
in honey and leave her with the turtle.
And you get a little ways, probably several hours along this new path that you have chosen. And who's in front? I guess Melissa's leading the way here.
Yeah.
So
So, Melissa, you get a spider web in your face.
Yeah, we're going the wrong way.
or we could go the long way.
Well, it has been several hours,
Yeah.
so it's possible that this spider just spun this web.
It doesn't matter.
But-
The spiders. We're going the wrong
You
way.
get a spider web in your face. So you have the option to turn around or to keep going.
I'm gonna keep going. I know the nature of spiders.
Move up.
Yeah.
Okay. You continue. And
And you said we did see a landmark.
you did.
Okay.
You've seen
Yeah.
several landmarks. There's things like stacks of rocks, right?
Okay.
That you can tell these were stacked up in such a way that it's just not a natural formation.
So
And
there are
you,
things that we actually recognize,
Yes.
not that we think we
Yes.
do. So
They-
we are going.
you're convinced that you recognize these things.
Okay.
And actually, but sometimes you notice things that you didn't notice before. So there's a little camp.
Oh, yeah.
There's what once was a camp, kind of off in a little clearing that you didn't notice on the way in, and obviously very, very old. The tent is falling apart, and there were some bags there that are just all done, and maybe some rocks that were once
You
a
think we
fire
can steal?
pit but
I
grown
was gonna say
over.
we loot the camp.
Yeah, can we loot it?
Yeah, you can go check it out. Sure, make a perception check in the camp.
20 with a 14.
What was yours? 20 with a
20 with a 19.
oof. All right. So
We're going to be fighting over whatever we have.
there's just a lot of
What was yours?
20 with a 19.
There's a lot of trash on the ground. There's an old burlap bag that is now filled with ants. Whatever was once in it is no
Smear
more.
coat me, honey.
But while most people are kind of looking around the stuff on the ground, the two of you notice up in a nearby tree is a nest, and it appears to be it's a good-sized nest, and it appears to have been made relatively recently. It's not like an old nest that's been sitting there for years.
It's not like a bird's nest.
Oh yeah, it's a bird's nest.
Joe and I notice it.
Joe and Gato, I believe.
What was yours?
14 with a 20 on it.
He
Oh,
critted.
okay, you critted. Yeah.
But you notice this. You
Man.
see them looking. You're perceptive, right? You see them
Yeah, I
looking
got
up
a
there. You're like, oh,
27.
yeah, there's that.
Okay. But there's not currently anything in there.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
How big of a nest?
It's a good-sized nest. Whatever
Okay.
bird
It's,
made
not,
this
it's not like a
nest.
nest.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no, no.
not like a.
It's like a regular bird nest.
Like if I
Okay.
climbed up, it's not gonna eat me.
No, it's not like a rock nest.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
So-
climb in the tree.
Make a climb check.
With my -3.
I can climb.
Yeah, you're a good climber.
Well, I mean, I don't
You
have
could
a.
probably climb up there before he can.
Okay,
I
let's
got
do
a
that.
7.
He got a 7. You can definitely climb up there before he can.
Those
Maybe.
are all triple
Did you also
ones.
get a 1?
He gets his foot tangled
No,
in the
I
vine
really
and
can't. I
ends
rolled
up
a
hanging
9.
upside
I
down.
got 9. This is a hard to climb tree.
It is.
I got a 12.
A 12 is good enough.
Okay.
You
What's in
manage,
the stinking nest?
well, eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Eggs.
There's eggs in the nest. Bluish eggs.
Take
Well,
the eggs
grab
back
the
as part of the
eggs.
offering.
Should we?
Best
Blue
offering
eggs.
ever.
So
At the very least, they were from an oxygen-deprived bird.
this this huge, beautiful, mostly red but multicolored parrot descends on you and starts squawking and flapping in your face and trying to scratch you. You could maybe grab one egg and before you fall out of the tree.
I don't even care. I didn't even want to climb the tree. They just both failed. They
Get
both
an egg.
failed. I was like, okay, now I've got to know what's in the
Just
nest.
to
'cause
say
they all
I
failed.
could.
Yeah. I'm leaving the eggs.
Okay.
I'll jump down or climb down.
All right.
Fall down. Whatever.
You make your way down the
All
tree.
right.
Yeah, well, he has to fall. He said it was whatever.
Just whatever.
Whatever. I don't care.
Since he wasn't greedy and didn't steal the poor parrot's egg, he makes his way down the tree.
Brightly colored feathers.
All right.
Mostly red, brightly colored.
All right. So we weren't able to
I mean, but
loot
any of them
anything.
laying around in the
No.
nest.
Nah, there's
All right,
nothing
so
here.
we
This,
continue back on the
this
path.
camp is ages old.
Okay.
Okay.
We continue back on the path with our huge scorpion.
You continue back on the path with your huge scorpion. You make it after a few hours uneventfully back to the lizard village.
Is it getting nighttime?
Yes.
Do we have to? Oh,
Yes.
we didn't get much of an offering.
It is dark nighttime.
Yeah,
Scorpion, they're
scorpions are giant.
Panther
I know,
cubs.
but they have stuff out of that already. I mean, we're bringing back the cubs too. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, their hunters apparently go out and do that,
Like,
so it's
now
not
they
a
can
big
breed
deal
them
to
and they
them.
never have to hunt again.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the sun sets and you make your way back into the
They didn't
camp.
give us much to go on. We went for the biggest thing that we came across.
Well, and you come back with this huge
Yeah.
scorpion
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
know. I'm
hanging
just
off
thinking,
this thing and some
The
cubs.
cubs to me make
Yeah.
it okay. We've got more than one thing.
Right, and so they watch you walking back in, and you can see kind of that lizardy look of surprise on their faces, and a little bit of approval maybe. And
a little bit.
Charles comes up and he greets you. Oh, this is a scorpion. This is very, very good. Yes, were you stung? No, this is good, good. Very good offering. The black scales, we are honored by this offering.
But wait, there's more.
Here.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
So the scorpion was good enough.
He looks at the bear or the
Panther.
jaguar cubs, panther cubs, whatever they are.
They were black.
Could be you.
You brought a baby panther.
Orphaned.
Yes, orphan.
Orphaned. So
We assume.
you can keep them as pets, or you can raise them to eat.
We probably black scales ate their mother. You ate their mother.
You ate.
Most likely.
Delicious.
I feel
This
bad.
is wonderful.
Don't feel bad
Baby
about pirates.
panther kittens, very soft, very tender.
Veal.
Yes.
We have veal.
Alright.
Black scales, honored by this offering. Thank you. Thank you. Please come. Come. Sit down. We will prepare. We prepare for you. So, some of the warrior dudes come over and pick up the giant scorpion, and some of the matronly mothers come over and they reach out for the panther cubs.
I don't want to know.
Here.
They take these panther cubs and they chop their heads off.
Alright. Good deal.
Yeah, and they prepare all the
We got what
meal.
we wanted, that's what's important.
Yeah, they
We
seem
got their
very
approval.
pleased.
We got their approval, that's all we needed.
So they prepare the meal kind of the same way they did last night, and once everything is prepared, they pass around these plates. But on the plate tonight, scorpion would be on there. That would be the main meal. But next to that is the little bits of like tender panther stuff, and then on your plates they bring you pass around, right, and you give your what you have to the next person, but they bring you a special plate. And on yours, in addition to the big scorpion hearty meat and the little panther bits, is just a little brain.
How many cubs were there?
6.
So each of us get one.
Each of you
There's
get
7
one.
of us.
Oh, that's true. There's
One of the brains gets portioned.
yeah, it gets split in
No,
half.
you go ahead and have a full serving.
Panther, the panther baby brain
Gives us knowledge, maybe.
not
though.
yet developed part of the panther brain that make it bitter. Very sweet. Very sweet.
I eat it. I'll eat it.
Yeah, we eat it.
I'm gonna eat it.
All right.
Probably wouldn't in real life, but
No.
I'll eat it.
Josiah
I'm not eating
eats.
a scorpion either.
Killian eats his panther brain.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't eat
Yeah, we
scorpion
all
either,
eat
yeah.
it. I think.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
eat.
You eat it up. The only one that's really like balks at it is Cocky, and she's only got half a brain.
Don't flatter her.
He meant on her plate.
Oh.
Well, you know. So she looks over at Jaundice Jape and goes, "You only got half of one. Would you like my half?" Jape's like, "Here you go." All the lizard folk just glare at her. Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
She needs to not make it back to the ship.
Oh, no.
Everyone enjoying the bits of dead scorpion? I killed that, you know. That was me. I drove my sword right down through its neck area thing. Killed it right like that.
It's okay with this bread.
It didn't even get a strike on us.
There's our tank over there too.
Yeah.
Give it some serious
Well,
damage.
Jape's kind of a tank, right? I mean,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
tanky.
yeah. So they both got a good hit in.
Yeah.
She just finished it and thinks
Yeah.
she did all the work.
Yeah.
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 Then you see them taking the armor, the plates from the scorpion. They're hanging it up and tanning it already, scraping it out and doing the things that they're adding some kind of jungle herbs to it. Kind of the same ritual as last night. After you eat, they pass around the drink. You're able to gauge a little better your ability to imbibe this. So they move to the beat, and the people come out and dance. All the kids dance around when they're just doing the up and down thing. But then when they move to the side to side as well, then it's more of the advanced dancers. So who wants to dance at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, make your dexterity check. Everyone who danced last night, you may add a +2 bonus.
I got
To
14, but I
dexterity.
also got a 1. Oh, that's not including my bonus from last
I
night.
have a 20 with a 20.
That's fine.
Ah.
As long as your middleest die
Okay.
is a success,
So-
then your fumble doesn't matter.
What did we get from last night?
Just a +2.
+2, and then plus dexterity.
Plus your dexterity, yeah. So that's
15.
So
So I got 15.
16.
15, 16.
I have a 20 with a 20 on it.
You do
He
much
showed
better
up.
than I.
So you master the dance. You are doing all of the things and twirls and
Oh,
like
what a peg leg.
just showing off your your peg leg,
Picking
doing
up the flowers.
pirouettes on your good foot while your
Picking
peg
up
leg
flowers
goes
with
up
my
and
peg
down.
leg.
Yeah, the whole night, and you end up after the night is over with more blossoms than probably all of the lizards folks together. What did you get, Kay? Are you dancing 11?
Yeah.
Make a reflex check. Reflex save. You did not dance last night,
No, I
correct?
did not, so that's true.
Make a reflex save.
Ooh. 18.
18. So you stumble a bit, but then you manage to pull it out,
Alright.
and you're fine. You're good, right?
16.
16.
20.
Oh, fantastic. You're all showing off. And so then they switch to the back and forth, right? If you want to continue to dance with the warriors, you can make that check. It's a little bit harder, but
The only reason I try that is because I have a really good reflex save if I
Yeah.
fail it.
Yeah. 18.
Oh, but I'm
18 is
failing.
good.
11.
17.
Make your reflex save. You're good for the night.
This is Dex.
13.
19.
You good? 13, make your reflex save.
10. I should have known.
You,
Face plant.
yeah. You fall on top of
9.
the things, and they kind of laugh at you, and
You're 6.
you
Okay,
get up
so
and
3 on your
I can
reflex.
tell what.
pick yourself up, dust yourself off.
You're right. 9.
9. You also, at the same time, fall. You sort of trip over each other and fall on top of these bamboo sticks as they're doing their little.
Not a bit too much nectar.
Yeah, I'll blame it on the neck.
But the
Yeah.
rest of you do a fine job, and everybody laughs at you, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
They enjoy your company, and so now they start throwing out the flowers. So if you want to try to pick up some flowers while they're doing the dance,
Oh, we're
Oh, that's
And
another thing.
again, if you danced last night, you can add that +2 bonus.
Oh, yes.
18.
18. You pick up flowers, not nearly as many as Joel does. Gato, but
There's a 17 pass.
you're done for the night. But yes, you show off some more.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Because I had a 1 with it, so.
You're picking up flowers and placing them on other people in other people's armor.
I got
You make your reflex check.
9. Oh, jeez.
19 with a 20 on top.
Oh, you're picking up flowers too. You're almost keeping up with Gato.
Gato.
Melissa,
I'm a
are
little
you?
closer to the
I
ground.
didn't go to the
You're trying. You're out. All
Dots
right.
on the
I was
bottom,
out.
so
I
that's
laughed,
a-
so it's out.
6.
That's a,
Thank you.
well, your middle's a 7 though.
Oh, is
Your
it?
section's
Oh, yeah,
a
you're
1,
right. So,
you have a 10.
10.
Yeah, you fall again. You realize that dancing is not for you. At least this
Except
kind
in
of
the
tribal
jungle,
dancing
yeah.
is not
But it was
for
a
you.
Not
critical
in this game.
successful.
Not in this game. But I did pretty okay when it comes to dancing.
So you have a good time. Again, they do the honor the dead thing. So if anybody would like to take a second shot at that, now that you kind of know what to expect, you're welcome to do it. Otherwise, you can all hold your breaths long enough to outlast the smoke.
I'll go for it.
Okay? You're holding your breath.
Yeah.
You're holding your
So it
breath.
looks like he's the only one.
You're taking the
I'm taking it.
Oh,
you're taking the hit.
I'll breathe a little deeper, but I can't answer stories as me.
Are you doing it or not?
I'll do it.
All right.
Peer pressure.
You breathe in. You breathe deeply of the smoke.
I try to breathe deep.
You hold your breath. Again, the only focus becomes that the sound of this fire in front of you, and as all these things pop in the fire and your vision starts to go all white, and then it comes back with all these colors, you again see this winged serpent before you, whose tail trails down and becomes so bright, so such a part of the fire that you can't separate the serpent from the fire. It's just they are one, and it speaks to you through the voice of the fire. And who would like to go first and tell us your vision? All right, Gato, you're up. So you're taken back to this war, and after you are healed by the priests of Saren Ray, and your foot is back to normal. Well, not back to normal, but you're healed up. Your foot is missing, but You're healed up. You're given a peg leg, and they're told that you are dismissed. You're told that you are dismissed. You don't have to participate in the war anymore, and you zone in on this moment in your life. It was kind of a crucial, pivotal moment. Explain it to us.
At that time, when I heard I was dismissed, I fought it. I argued with them. I told them that even with missing a leg, I can still fight. Now, did they allow me to?
Yes,
They did.
they honored your
I
request.
continued to be involved in the war efforts.
And you were back out in the field in the midst of this battle, and there was this pivotal moment. Something happened there. Some crucial. It changed your character. It made you who you are. Explain it to us.
We were in this one battle, and we had defeated a city, and we were told by the highest order to eliminate everybody within it. Even as a war priest, like, something seemed wrong about that. And after that battle, I left the wars, remained a war priest of Sarah and Ray, but kind of started going on a journey to discover my own path.
And what did that journey entail?
Basically just to find a way to try and do good and to help others without having to worry about being asked to do something that I believe was wrong in order to, basically I don't just blindly follow orders anymore, like I make my own decisions.
So you've learned to sort of trust. In that moment, you learn to trust your own instinct and not just follow what you're told to do.
Yep.
Okay. You come out of your vision. You feel blessed by the coatl.
You can take another blessing.
Josiah.
I basically hold
No,
on
I
to
was
these and
holding
can
my
use
breath.
them at any time.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was holding my breath. I'm with her. I can't.
I'm
do
doing it.
Oh,
Chicken?
yeah. That's
I
right.
know, but yeah.
That's right. All right. Is Melissa then?
Just say no to drugs.
Melissa,
Yeah, I'm saying no
take
to
us
drugs.
back to another
No to
important
drugs, but yes to rum.
Yeah.
childhood moment.
Like childhood.
Whatever. It's up to you.
There was a time that my father was a healer and would heal the often kind of scum of the earth type people, and there was a time where we were both badly assaulted by someone we were trying to help, and even though we were both badly beaten, hurt, robbed, that my father just instilled upon us that you can't stop helping people just because you've been hurt, but you have to be careful.
That is a powerful moment.
Cool. All right, thank you. Sorry.
Oh,
All right, Patrick.
what?
This is your first encounter with the coatl.
It's so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Oh, how its colors change and shift. It's mesmerizing. It's hypnotic. In that hypnosis, you are spoken to. It gives you a vision of your past and a message about your future. Tell us the vision of your past.
Like as a kid, is this the kid one?
Sure.
Okay, so just like as a young boy growing up in a piratey community, den of smugglers, and learning how to use the picks from my mother and to get into small spaces, and just it's kind of an odd growing up, but it was fun. It's full of laughter and learning all that from my mom, and then one day she goes off on a vision or mission and she doesn't come back. I still have her picks though. I just remember that.
You feel that feeling that you felt at that time. What was that? What are you feeling in that moment when
she doesn't come back? Sadness. I was a little kid.
How did you know she wasn't coming back?
She just never did come back.
So it was a growing revelation.
Well, usually when she would go off on a job, because she was a smuggler too, and it'd be like a day or two and she'd be back, and she didn't come back. And so we're waiting. She never comes back. So.
Okay, and then you fast forwarded a little bit to where you have a caretaker. Explain that that vision where you realize this person is your new caretaker.
He's kind of always been in the picture, you know, it was the boss, the crime boss that does all the smuggling, Avery, and my mom was one of his favorites, and so he realized that she's not coming back, and he's kind of taken me under his wing now as his own protege, his own informally adopted son, as it were. So.
Do you get the same feeling from him that you got from your mom?
Not the same, but I mean, he's my dad now. I mean, he wasn't my dad, but he's my dad. He's the only dad I've ever known. So
He's taken the
Yeah.
parent role. And now tell us about your future. You're given a vision of your future. What do you see? It's just a brief glimpse, but what is it?
going back as the head of this pirate ship and revenge on some former enemies from those days.
Good. You feel blessed by the koala.
It's to revenge, yay!
Yay. That wasn't so bad.
Yes, it was.
You did great.
For him, it wouldn't be. For me, it is.
You did great. The ceremony is over. People kind of come back to their senses, and Charles coughs a little bit. He's obviously been inhaling a lot of the smoke. Yes.
Really?
We do this to honor the dead, those that we have lost recently, and those that we have lost long ago. We thank you for joining us in this important ritual. Perhaps you have gained something from it yourselves. You're allowed to hang out, or just go right back to your hut, right, and retire for the night. Whatever you want to do. The old warrior lady is over there grinding up some of those thorns that you captured and applying that poultice to the burns on the couple of guys that are there. Otherwise, people are drinking and having a good time and living a life of lizardness. Lizardry.
That's awesome.
Is everybody going to bed?
I don't know. I think feel a bit more relaxed after, you know, we
Yeah.
kind of trust them, so kind of hang out, drink some nectar, and
Yeah.
Sit around the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you come down from a trip, they're
I'm gonna go
usually
off
ready
to
to go to
meditate.
bed.
yeah.
You can do what?
I'm gonna go meditating and then go to bed.
Okay.
Meditate.
I'll drink. If she's drinking more nectar, then
Yeah.
I'm very cool drinking some more nectar.
Okay.
Not just going to bed by myself.
You guys hang out for a while and drink the nectar. Some of the warriors come over and sit down by the fire with you, the ones that have the glowing blue poultice on them now. And they're passing the nectar around. They don't speak the language, but they smile at you. It's a creepy smile because, you know, they're like lizards. Yeah. These are our warriors. Yes, they are mighty warriors. They honor you by drinking with you.
Girl.
Just give them a nod. Nice glass. It's kind of hard when you don't speak the language.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. I see the guards standing outside. But father, you know, the guards.
Someone could come get me, I guess, if you wanted.
Well, you're meditating.
You're meditating.
Well, the Charles can translate as
Oh,
well.
that's true.
Oh.
He speaks both languages. The fire cracks, a little log rolls out. They push it back in with their bare feet.
Yeah, he pokes it with his foot.
Pushes it back, give it his peg leg.
Or with his foot. Oh, with this one.
You hear some creature out in the jungle make some sort of howling noise.
What do you normally hunt? You know, just besides,
Jaguar.
tell us about your life here, your jungle, your
Jaguar, very good. This scorpion is very delicious. Very, very useful too to make the armor. You see, the warriors have the armor. Yes. Sometimes black scales go to beach. Yes, and hunt for crabs, big crabs, eels, fish, birds, different animals.
what of something that is there something you hunt that goes through the canopies of the trees? With viney hands and
Oh no!
what is that?
Do not eat kukuala.
What is it?
Kukuala is I don't know the word in your language. The kukuala is a vine creature. No meat. It's all vine inside, like plant. Not good. Very bitter.
One was stalking us earlier and we
Yes.
shot it.
Yes, good. Bad.
We don't know that it's dead, but it's injured. Yeah.
It will not. It. They hunt for weak. Separate. If
Never
you.
separate the party.
Yes. If you separate, then they come down and wrap up, strangle with vines, arm vines. Very cowardly creature. Yes. You fortunate that you see it. Because
I didn't see it, but
walking line, kukuala combined, whoever is in back, nobody can hear. Nobody know. Just suffocate. Yes.
Is everybody accounted for?
I think from now on it's a good thing to do a conga line through the jungle.
and note to self, what's her face is in the back.
Kukuala is bad. Not as bad as Usharo, fire serpent. Usharo burn our warriors. Yes. Usharo evil come from lava. Black scales not go to
Also saw a beautiful red blossom blowing in the wind.
yes. Beautiful flowers here.
Yeah,
Could be
anything.
good. Yes. Many flowers on this island. Yes.
What's her name? Goes in the back. What's her name?
Kalkitaru.
Yes, she goes in the back.
At least 50 paces behind.
Yeah. The position of honor. For the
She's
great
like-
hunter to come behind, you
Well
know.
protected.
Yeah.
You know that I can hear you. I'm sitting right over here.
I was whispering, what's myself?
Alright.
You sleep tonight. Get good sleep. Tomorrow, Black Scales show you the way to the temple of the serpent's tongue. Yes.
Anything we need to know for that journey tomorrow? What we might meet there?
Very big temple, very old. Black Scales not go inside temple. Black Scales keeper of temple. You seekers bring us offering. We show you the way. Yes, show you the way.
Real gamer vibe.
You can make a
We did
check
that,
on that.
We found you were sincere.
Yeah.
So,
Well, as far as you can tell, he's telling you everything.
I don't think they're intending to hurt us. I think there's
But
something
they
in this
know
temple that's
things.
very dangerous
Yeah.
that they won't go in on.
But they
Yeah.
know things.
and they know that seems like
Ever.
nobody's come out.
Ever.
Yeah. So,
There's that.
alright.
All right. So,
Cool. Going to bed, taking the
should
2-hour
we-
shifts.
do the 2-hour shift thing again
Do
tonight?
we really need to guard from them now?
Pirates.
I didn't think
We don't
so.
truly
Yeah,
trust
I wouldn't-
anyone.
I'm not worried
You're
about
asleep
it.
already?
I'm like, I
You
no
guys get-
qualms. I'm this out.
You get back to the hut and
There you
Phoebe's
go.
already asleep.
Yeah, y'all can stay up if you want
Sprawled
to. I'm
out
going to
snoring.
bed.
Yes.
All right. So next time we'll pick it up here. The Black Scales will lead you to the Temple of the Serpent's Tongue,
And we'll likely be wearing different clothes.
and we'll likely be wearing
Yeah,
different
maybe not.
clothes.
Wash
Maybe
them
not.
first, though.
And maybe next time you'll learn what all those little beads and all the Harrow cards are actually for. Thanks for tuning in, YouTubers. We are Pieces O' Fate.
There you go.
And remember, nerds, whatever you do, do it for fortune and story. Bye now.